the word culture is thrown around very casually in this sport, isn't it? And Nick Sirianni in year 2 trying to establish it. And it's easy to put on a T-shirt or put on a sign around your facility. But what's your sense there in Philadelphia, the kind of buy-in that he's got from this group as he's trying to create it?
Yeah, I think he's got it. You know, when we talked to him preparing for this game, he joked about last year. He said, I tried to make that analogy about we're growing every day.
Yeah.
And it's like you're watering flowers. And he said, the next thing I know, I've got Philly fans going, we got a head coach talking about growing flowers. And now he sees people in the seats that are dressed as sunflowers, and everybody's laughing about it. And the team looks better, and the defense is better. They had a great offseason, but the key to the whole thing is Jalen Hurts. And tonight, I mean, he stepped front and center and was great in every phase of the game. He plays like that or anything close to that, it's going to be a really hard team to beat in 2022.
To that, Troy, you lived in the NFC East, and I've long contended, and granted, maybe it's because I grew up in Washington, but look, this division through the years has been so much fun because at one time or another, every single team has been great, right? Every single team's won at least a Super Bowl. And I just wonder this year, I'm not asking Super Bowl, it's week 2, but how likely might it be that Philadelphia is the best team in the NFC East?
Well, I do think right now, and there's a lot of people who thought they were the best team before they'd ever even taken a snap in the year 2022. So they've got a lot of talent. We talked about it during the game. I think what Howie Roseman did this offseason was really good in improving the roster. And like Joe said, it really comes down then to how well does Jalen Hurts play. But the additions that they have at wide receiver and their ability to create the big plays. You know, you talk about Nick Sirianni. I've said it all along. I think he did a masterful job last year, starting off 2-5, and then being able to rally this team, get them into the postseason. Everybody remembers the loss to Tampa Bay. It was not very good, but they forget just how far this team had come.
Sure.
And they've picked up pretty much where they were at the end of last season. And Jalen Hurts is the key to it all, and he put in the time this offseason. And through 2 games, it has really shown.
Yeah, they were able to largely cruise in the second half, much like Buffalo was in the game that was on earlier tonight. And I think what's fun about this moment, guys, is we come to the end of a week, kind of can exhale and take inventory of what happened. And, Troy, if I could stay with you, we saw some things yesterday, man, that really are hard to process. I mean, the way Vegas has a lead get away, the way the Browns have a lead get away, the way Baltimore has a lead get away. It's early. I don't want to overstate it. But when you're trying to put that behind you as a team, how difficult can it be to kind of flush a loss like those teams endured yesterday?
Well, it's really hard. I mean, it's the hardest thing to do. It's hard as a quarterback when you have a tough outing and then going into the locker room and during the week, the following week, and looking at your teammates in the face and saying, hey, I'm going to be better and help our team, you know, have a chance. There's a lot of coaches' decisions that come into this. More so than ever. I mean, these games are so tight and things can turn so quickly and the offenses are capable of scoring so many points that you never can really rest. You know, you could back when I was playing, but not anymore. But that's the challenge every week. We talked about it in the week that Kevin O'Connell had against a division rival to open up the season and his first time as a head coach and what he did. And then comes out and same team doesn't show up tonight. And that's going to be the challenge that he has, as is going to be the case for a lot of teams around the league, like you said, these coaches, and how well can they get their team turned around after a very difficult loss.
Joe, I'll give you the final thought. You cover all the sports, and we obviously pay attention to them here on SportsCenter. It doesn't feel like there's anything else quite like those Sunday windows where in an hour time frame, whether you're watching the game or however you're consuming the product, it's just bedlam. I just wonder how best do you describe it as you're the one consuming it, not calling it, you're just watching it the way we are, and all hell's breaking loose in every direction.
Yeah, I mean, we get a chance to do that now. So we were all watching games together, and you feel like little kids, you know, flipping back and forth between games and watching these huge fourth quarter leads evaporate and teams getting up off the deck and winning in thrilling fashion. It's fun. It's good. It makes for good television. It makes for a heck of a week 2 around the NFL. And you're starting to see some teams step forward that maybe you didn't expect. And one of those teams that made that big comeback yesterday, the Miami Dolphins, and Tua Tagovailoa and the start he's off to. I mean, he's sitting on top of the pass yardage with the job that he's done through 2 weeks. So it's fun. It's fun to see some new players kind of in that game, so to speak. And yesterday was an enjoyable day to be in the hotel prepping for this game, but watching those games unfold it was crazy in the NFL.
Hey, and Scott, we don't have a rooting interest, so we're just watching the games as fans. Now, if you're a fan and you have a rooting interest, I don't know how you survive some of these games.
Yeah, we got a couple of Raider fans that are part of our show group, and I got news for you. They're not a happy bunch to be around last night or today. But, man, that's the beauty of this league. There's nothing quite like it. 2-0 Giants next week against Dallas. Look forward to visiting with you guys after that. Thanks and travel well, okay? Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.